Thank you for listening to Life Improvement Radio. You are listening to a rebroadcast of a previously recorded show.
Hi, everyone. We're live at the Mind Book Fair. And tomorrow will be powered by Life Improvement Radio, I think. Totaltutor.net for more information. Twitter, Totaltutor, Neil S. Haley, Facebook, LinkedIn, Neil Haley, Instagram, Totaltutor, Pinterest, Neil Haley, and Google Plus, Neil Haley, and also on Periscope at Totaltutor. And it's an amazing conversation so far today as we continue with our great guests. Now we're going to connect back to the studio in Miami. I enjoy this. This is called Organized Chaos, and this is what I do. And when I reminisce about 6 years from radio, I have to write a book just about my radio experience, and maybe I'll be able to present it to Miami Book Fair. I'll have to bring that up to Casey. Casey's a sweetheart, and she's co-hosting with me today, and I'm going to have to kind of text Eric Wemmerle and say, Eric, are we going to be on Life Improvement Radio live tomorrow, or are we going to be live on my website? Either way, the show must go on, so let's connect to the studio. We're back live from the Miami Book Fair with Casey. So, Casey, we're ready for our next guest.
Okay, here's Alan Jackowitz.
Alan, thanks for calling, and how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, Alan, and it's just quite an interesting experience. And I was mentioning Organized Chaos and how I try to broadcast 5 hours of interviewing the most interesting authors in the world. Describe Miami for us.
A masterful job.
Yeah, well, thank you. What would you say, Alan, about the atmosphere at the fair and how you guys are going from one place to the other, grabbing phones, talking to people there? It's interesting, but it's quite back and forth, isn't it, Alan?
It's like you're submerged in a world of literature. It's like wherever you go, there's people are talking about books and reading and current events, and it's like it's a welcome relief from your normal Monday to Friday tedium.
Oh, definitely, Alan. And also when I think about it specifically in Brooklyn, that's your normal day of life, right? Growing up in Brooklyn, right?
That's where I grew up. Correct.
No, meaning that kind of life, like boom, 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 always go, go, go in Brooklyn.
That's right. You can take the boy out of Brooklyn, but Brooklyn always stays with you. I like to say I'm not a type A personality. I'm a type B plus. So and that's from my New York up.
Absolutely. Can you tell us about your background? Then we're going to get into specifically the book and everything and all that. But tell us a little bit. Alan, I was saying specifically, can you tell me a little bit about your background before we get into the book?
Sure. Background is that of I was a CPA. I went to Georgetown University. I was a CPA. I was the controller of some small businesses. I was CFO, all financial, 30 years of financial work. And then the day before my 50th birthday, I was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. And professionally, as well as everything else, changed. And so the last six months has been, or the past year has been this book. And now I can, when someone says, what do I do for a living? I don't have to say I'm an accountant. So already I got a plus.
Wow. And once you were diagnosed, tell us the story of what you thought about when that happened, especially when you talk about the kind of personality you are, Alan.
Well, what happened was this. It was very, very, very minute in that I had a tingle in the middle finger of my left hand. And that's all I knew. So no one goes to the doctor for a tingle in the left hand. So I started a new job, and one of my coworkers said to me, "You must have really hurt your arm and your shoulder because it doesn't swing when you walk." And I didn't even know that. I didn't even realize that. So that's when I went to the doctor, and he says, "You got to come for a brain scan," which I thought I had an arm problem. I didn't realize I might have had a brain problem. And the thought of Parkinson's didn't even cross my mind. And in fact, what happens is they give you the MRI only to rule things out, because the diagnosis for Parkinson's is just by physical consultation. So they just made sure that it wasn't a stroke, it wasn't a lesion, it wasn't cancer, and then they just confirmed that it was Parkinson's. And the doctor who diagnosed me did a very good thing in that he wasn't hysterical about it. He says people live a long life with it, and just thinking, eventually you'll take your medicine, and that's how we'll deal with it. And so the fact that he wasn't hysterical became me not being hysterical as well.
So tell me why you decided to write the book.
Well, what has happened is I about halfway through the 8 years, so maybe 4 years ago, I started following the Facebook forums of people with Parkinson's, and there's a lot of people who go from forum to forum, and they talk about their pills that they take, and they're looking for commiseration, they're looking for a place to get information, and I like to lighten it up a little bit. So I would try to answer, be a member, part of the conversation, but on a lighter scale, so to make people laugh. And I found that I was writing more and more. People were loving it, and so I developed a bit of a voice that way. And that's what put the writing bug in me. And then an old friend of mine, said that who I had been out of touch with, saw me and said wanted to write a book about me. And I thought, but you got to remind, thinking they wanted to write a book about me. Didn't realize that I was doing anything anybody wouldn't do. And after enough people told me that I was inspiring or just special, I said maybe I am. And my son, who's 25, he says write the book. So I usually listen to him.
Wow. So what's really interesting is you're bringing a humor side to Parkinson's, meaning in a way that so people that have been diagnosed with it or have family members that have this can see the lighter side of this. That's correct.
But one of the things that my biggest ovation was somebody was asking about 2 pills that they take. And does anybody have experience with taking these 2 medicines? And I said that I take those 2 medicines, which I did. And I said I have no side effects at all. So every once in a while, I get a little tingling, and it starts in my chin and goes all the way down my chest to my new vagina. And everybody laughed. And it went over very well, so I said I'm going to keep on making people laugh.
And living as a father with this, and also as a husband, how has your life changed once you have Parkinson's? Like, is it more communication, or is it more than just communication that's difficult sometimes for you?
Everything becomes a little more difficult. In that in my case, the symptoms, some of them are overt, some of them are subtle. The subtle ones, people think that you're doing it on purpose. So it's like I'll be at the supermarket trying to get my change out of my pocket, and after an hour, when I'm trying to find 12 cents, I finally reach for the 20 and forget about the change. And so that kind of thing happens. The non-motor thing, which people don't know about unless you have it. That probably make it a little more difficult than the motor skills. Though I found a way with the motor skills is sometimes I'll be walking and I'll be in someone's way, or I'll just freeze up and I just look them in the eye and say, I used to walk a whole lot better than this. And then they say to me, don't we all? So 99% of all people are nice or helpful and understanding. And to that end, I'm grateful that I was able to learn that.
It seems like you're grateful to learn that and to do that for sure. And then there's those times that are challenging, Alan. They're challenging beyond belief compared to what you were capable of doing before. And that's right. Where humor brings a great side to this, especially when you're feeling down or sad about having this, right?
That's right. Like even yesterday, I was in a big intersection because I try to be as independent as I can, and I drove across in the street. Only that once I get going, I'm okay. The key word here is momentum. Once you get momentum, walking and some of the motor skills that are otherwise difficult get a little easier. But it's hard to get started. So there was a big intersection which I didn't feel comfortable walking into the middle of. So I'm in there for half an hour waiting to pull across the street. I finally managed to do it, but that was exceedingly difficult mentally.
It seems like it, and from that type of situation, what has been the response from especially the community of people suffering through this, and what has been the response to your book with them, especially people that were Parkinson's?
They've been very supportive and very happy about it. The title of the book seems to get a great laugh, no matter who I send it to.
I agree.
Yeah, and the first chapter of my book explains why that's so prevalent. Because if you have Parkinson's, you know that someone's going to think you're drunk. Because everyone's been confused for drunk. So in my chapter in my book, I say, I don't want to look drunk. I want to be drunk. And that's not good medically, but with the health, sometimes you just have to.
Yeah, definitely. And have you ever gotten an opportunity to meet Michael J. Fox?
No, I have not. I've done a lot of work for the organization. It's a fantastic organization in the research and the fundraising that they do. And I hope to meet him someday.
Interesting. So you've never got the opportunity to meet him. And I hope you do someday get that chance for sure. And his organization, yeah.
He's never had the opportunity to meet me either. So
you're too busy, right, Alan? You're too busy doing things. So how's the response to the book been? Especially you said with the Parkinson community.
The response has been great. People who've seen it like it. People who've read it like it. I just need to have more people see it. And this weekend here at the book fair, I couldn't ask for a better springboard to give people the opportunity to see the book.
And to be invited to get to talk to people about this and really bring awareness, that's one of your missions, isn't it?
Correct. One of my major goals is the subtitle of the book is Taming My Parkinson's with Music, Humor, and Charity. And everybody's got something. So if you could pull out Parkinson's from that title and put in whatever ailment, malady, challenge that you have and throw it in the middle instead of Parkinson's, then I consider it a success, because I don't want this to be necessarily a Parkinson's bedtime read. I think there's something to be learned regardless of what you've got, and hopefully I make you laugh anyway.
Definitely, absolutely. So best place to find information on you purchasing a book and learn more about you, where can we go?
You can go to Jackowitz.com. It's a blog. And there's a link to Amazon. You can go buy it on Amazon.com directly, obviously, or you can go through the blog there.
All right. Well,
hook me at the fair, and I'll get you one.
Well, I hope that your discussion on this brings more and more awareness that this is not this is life changing in a way, but this is not an ending of your life. You still live your life the best you can, and you deal with certain adversities. But I love the fact that you said, Alan, that everyone has some sort of crutch they're dealing with, some sort of thing that keeps them from performing perfectly, and that you're living life and loving life, and you want to tell others just because you're diagnosed mean this is ending your life.
That's
it
right.
just begins.
That's right.
All right, Alan, thanks for calling, and pass it over to Casey, please.
Thank you for listening to Life Improvement Radio. The views expressed by show hosts or their guests are their own and shall not be construed in any way as advice from Life Improvement Radio. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our website. Personal perspectives expressed by the producers, writers, or editors will always be presented as such. Any rebroadcast or retransmission without the expressed written consent of Life Improvement Radio is strictly prohibited. Thanks for listening.